the power of positive thinking, how to train your brain to be more optimistic, more positive, so that you have a happier life. Now, let me just acknowledge first and foremost the pink elephant in the room, which is those people who are toxically positive. They just won't even acknowledge anything that's negative that's going on because they say, oh, that's just going to attract more of it. And we all know that's how the law of attraction works, but there is some reality that we need to come to terms with. So toxic positivity, just don't think about it. Just don't think about something positive, doesn't work. It's actually toxic. So if you've ever been going through a hard time and somebody's like, well, just don't think about it anymore. Think about something good. It doesn't really work. There's a deeper way to move your brain in the direction of more positive thinking other than just, oh, well, just don't think about the negative thing anymore. La, 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 because that doesn't work. So today we're ditching toxic positivity. We're bringing in some realistic positivity. We're helping you deal with the perceived negatives in your life. I'm going to take you through several different steps that you can follow to be able to reckon with any negative feelings, any negative thoughts, so that you can make peace with them and then move forward. And then we're also going to talk about the power of positivity, how to cultivate more positive thoughts as well, and some of the benefits of positive thinking in your life, such as, but not limited to, longer life, better health, happiness, and did you know when you're negative all the time, it walks across your face. So if you're like me and you're into a really strict anti-aging regimen, you better get positive because it helps your wrinkles go away. We will have all of that on the other side of our break. But first, please check and see if you're a subscriber here. And if not, click that little subscribe button for us and the little bell so that you learn when we drop videos like this to bring more positivity and success into your life. I'll be right back.
GILD Coaching. More success, less stress.
Positive thinking is so powerful. It can do so many things for you, including the anti-aging regimen that I just discussed a second ago. So it's something that we really want to learn how to train ourselves to do. And we do have to train ourselves to do it because your brains are predisposed to negativity. Our brains are built to find the negative so that we can be protected against the negative. And so training ourselves to instead see positives, or to, in addition to, see positives is a job. But it's a job and you are up to the task, my friend. I promise all of us are. If you've got a brain that's functioning and you're watching this right now, you're up to the task. Congratulations. All right, so positive thinking comes first from positive self-talk. And you think, well, I can't have positive self-talk without positive thinking, but let's just remember what I just said. Your brain's predisposed to find negatives first. And so if you will program yourself to come in and start to practice positive self-talk, then your words will follow that, your spoken words, not just self-talk, which is the talk of thinking, but your spoken words will follow that positive outcome. So here's what happens. I was just discussing this the other day with somebody who is a chronic overthinker, and she's always worried about something and always trying to think things through and talk things through and is desperate to meet up and talk over a problem. And I'm telling you, it's exhausting. And so I kind of limit my time there because, come on. But I said, your problem isn't this problem or this or that or that. Your problem is you're a chronic overthinkers, and overthinkers are notoriously unhappy because they are dwelling on it. So the first problem with negative thinking that's blocking your path to positivity is your addiction to overthinking things. So if you're taking notes, write down, must stop overthinking things. When you feel yourself churning and churning and churning with thoughts, take out a pad of paper and a pen and just start journaling it down, because when you start to do that, you're having a conversation with yourself. Instead of just churning the same thoughts over and over again, you're now starting to add new ideas into the mix, and then you can come up with some sort of solution, because all you're doing when you're thinking about it is problem. It's just the problem is just rotating around. But when you journal it down, when you get it out of yourself, then all of a sudden you do start to become a little bit more predisposed to finding a solution for it. That's also a really, really good way to find your negative thoughts. So the first thing that we have to do after we start to just will ourselves to have more positive self-talk. And how do you do that? We have a whole playlist here with recorded sessions and positive affirmations. That's how you do it. Go grab one of those positive affirmation videos that means something to you. Look at all the different titles of them. We have one linked right here in this video for you that's just powerful, positive self-talk. If you just want to click on that one and save it to your watch later or something like that, or put it on a playlist for positive thinking, which would be great. You can just use our recorded session playlist if you'd like to, but just force yourself to hear these positive thoughts all the time. So that's the positive self-talk. But then really sit down with yourself, and I'm talking like get your pencil and your paper out or your pen or whatever, and really write down what are some of these recurring negative thoughts that you find yourself having over and over and over again. And then ask yourself 3 questions. First of all, is it true? Is it actually true? Or is it as big as I feel like it is? Is the truth of it as big as I feel that the truth of it is? Because usually when you look at something like that, you're like, yeah, it's true, but it's not as big of a deal as I've been making it out to be. Okay, so when you realize that it's actually smaller than it's been feeling, then all of a sudden you can diminish that feeling, and then the feeling is smaller. So that's the first question. Is it true? Number 2, is it necessary? Is this a necessary thought? So if you're trying to lose weight and every single time you look in the mirror, you go, ugh, I'm fat. Well, you know what? Is that true? You're probably not morbidly obese. So no, that's probably going a little bit too far. Are you a little bit heavier than you'd like to be? Maybe. So see how I just minimized that? I took this big thing that feels bad and I made it smaller. Okay, I weigh a little bit more than I would be happy about. That feels better, right? It's not where you want to be, but it feels a heck of a lot better than where you were. So that's minimizing that half truth, I guess. My mom always used to say a half truth is still half lie. So it's minimizing that. And then ask yourself, is this necessary? Is it necessary every time I step in front of the mirror to berate myself? No. It's not. It actually doesn't help anything. And it actually raises your stress level, which raises your cortisol level, which raises your fat level. Because cortisol's job, one of cortisol's jobs, is to store fat. Because when you're in stress, it's a stress hormone. When you're in stress, your body likes to store fat because stressed out people use more energy and it wants to pack some stuff away from later. So when you're berating yourself in front of the mirror, you're raising your stress level and you're amplifying the problem. So stop it. Really stop it. Stop it. So it's not necessary. So is it true? No, we minimized it. Not fat. I'm just a few pounds over where I'd like to be. Oh, that's a big difference. There's a whole river in between those two cities, right? And then we realized this isn't necessary. And then the third one is it kind? This self-talk that I'm giving myself, is this kind? If somebody was saying this to my mother, sister, brother, best friend, neighbor, anybody, would I be okay with that? Would I be like, yep, this is the right thing to say to that person? No. So ask yourself that about every single piece of negative thought that you find floating around in your head. And that will really help you to stop having them. One exercise that I do with some clients is I have them write the negative thoughts on the left side of a page, have them folded in half so that there's kind of a dividing line in the middle. And then on the other side of the line, I have them write the thought that they'd rather think instead. So that's kind of like that minimization of the negative thought that we had. And so go ahead and decide the thought that you want to replace that. And whenever you feel yourself going to the negative thought, say, nope, I've already scripted what I'm going to replace this with. It's this one instead. And it works. I promise. Now, while you're going through all of this, you need to know why you're doing it. So here are some health benefits, some benefits to your health, to your whole life of this process of moving toward more positive thinking. This is not all of them. I just kind of picked the highlights for you. If you will commit to this path toward more positive thinking, and I'm not saying that you're not going to have a bad day, I'm not saying that you're never going to have a negative thought, I'm not saying that, but if you will commit to, generally speaking, being more positive, more of a positive thinker than you are a negative thinker, here are the benefits to you. You're going to have better stress management. Stress is the leading cause of all diseases. So that one alone, done. Like, done. Great. If I'm going to be able to manage my stress better, sold. Like, you got me. Okay. Better coping skills. So that means when stuff happens, you're going to be able to handle it better. Lower risk of depression. That's huge. Right now, mental health is such a crisis right now, especially after the pandemic and everybody just reeling still after that. Stronger immune system, that means you're going to be able to fight off everything from the common cold to any other virus, right? Decreased risk of heart attacks and heart disease, lower blood pressure, that kind of goes hand in hand. You're going to have better problem solving skills because when your stress is lower, your brain has more space to move around. It's kind of like when you're in a cramped space, you kind of feel like maybe you can't breathe as deeply as when you're out in a field or at the beach or something, with a lot of space. So it's the same thing. When you remove all this negativity from your brain can kind of stretch. It's like a breath of fresh air. You have greater mental adaptability. That kind of goes back up to coping skills. Fewer mood swings. If anybody's ever said you're moody, hey, let's change your thinking to more positive thinking and see if that gets better. And you have stronger leadership skills. Why? Because when you are thinking more positively, you are able to think more creatively, and a great leader is a creative leader. Okay, so now you know how to deal with your negative thoughts, how to start to get those into control. You know the power of positive thinking through the benefits, okay, but how do you start to train yourself to be positive? I've already given you that link a little while ago to the affirmations that you can start, but there are things that you can do and not really involve technology. Number one, first and foremost, I always tell everybody, keep a gratitude journal. If you start to find something first thought in the day, if you just reach for something to be grateful for, you start to predispose your mind to positivity. I'm having a hard time talking. You start to predispose your mind to positivity, and therefore your mind starts to look for more positivity because it feels good, baby. What also feels good is a good night's sleep. So make sure that you're not cheating your sleep for other things. Going out, watching TV, whatever. Get good sleep. The average adult over, I think, the age of 25 is recommended to get between 7 and 9 hours a night. And it only goes up from there. So I know some people who are like, I'm good on 4. And I'm like, are you? Really? 7 to 9, let's shoot for that, 7 to 9 hours. Another thing, just looking down at my notes, you need to come to some acceptance. Accept things how they are. There's that really great serenity prayer that Alcoholics Anonymous uses. Help me to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. It's that first one. Just accept. You don't have to take every argument. You don't have to let everybody know everything that you're thinking. And that's really number 4. Stay private with a lot of things. You don't have to tell everybody everything. The less other people know about you, and I'm not saying don't be social. I'm just saying, like, the intimate details of your life, keep those private. Keep those between you and the people that you have intimate relationships with. Your spouse, your significant other, your family, your dear, dear close friends. But not everybody needs to know everything about you, because the more that's out there, there's the more chance for dissenting opinion and things of that nature. You're just inviting more negativity in. So accept things how they are. I've got a couple friends that are like, whatever, I'm into fitness. I'm fit, and I think that we all should be fit, or at least focused on fitness, whatever level fitness is right for our bodies, depending upon our level of capabilities. But I've got friends that are perfectly capable of being fit and healthy, and they're just like, whatever, we're just going to eat whatever we want and drink whatever we want. When we get too sick to keep going, we'll just use the pharmaceutical industry to make us better and keep going like this. And I literally heard somebody the other day say he doesn't take care of his health because he's got a good health insurance policy, and he knows that his wife will get a couple $1 million when he dies. And I'm like, what is wrong with people? But I didn't argue. I'm just like, okay, because first of all, you can't reason with idiocy, but also, is it worth my effort? And so you start to make those little decisions. Is it worth my effort to enter into this conversation or argument or debate or whatever? And the deeper you get into this, the more you realize, no, it's not worth it. Remember to laugh. 5 is laugh, laugh, laugh. Seek out things that are funny to you. You can even do an exercise where you just force yourself to laugh for a straight minute. Take a break, force yourself to laugh for another straight minute. Number one, you're getting a good ab workout. Number two, it's just good for your soul. Try to laugh, I don't know, 5 to 10 times a day. It's just really good for you. Even if it's just a little giggle, like I just love laughing. It feels really, really good. And finally, keep it real. Don't put on airs for anyone. Authenticity, 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 authenticity always wins the day. I know that this was a long video, but if you've stuck in there with me, I appreciate it. Give me a thumbs up to let me know you made it this far. And if you didn't already, do please subscribe and hit the bell so you'll know when we drop another video like this to help you live a more positive and happy life. And I'll see you soon. Bye.